Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen to Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty dancing in the casino, man. Never know what to find.
Welcome to Uncle Bumps, DVD extras, where we give you the plot, we give you some movie-related conjecture, some special edition features, and there may even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Travis.
I'm your host, Kevin.
Am I a host, actually? Because I feel like that's presumptuous of
You're
me.
definitely a host.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm your host, Dylan.
Yeah, you gotta command it.
Oh, right.
Like you mean it. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, let me just. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
your host,
let's
Dylan.
just,
No, I did it. You talked over me. That
That's-
doesn't make it
yeah,
sound very
you did it.
commanding.
No, you did
no,
do
it was
it.
kind of a wooden read. If
So-
you just maybe one more time,
Well,
just give it a try.
I feel like
loosen up.
It
I feel
sounded
like
a little
wooden,
slappy.
I feel like a wooden read is perfect for this one. Hey-o. And I'm your host, Dylan. Okay, if you don't stop interrupting, I'm sorry, we can't use that word on this one, right?
You can say about anything you want. And if I don't like it, I'll just edit it out. So you're good to go.
And I'm host, Dylan.
All right. Okay. Well, Dylan, you know what? We are pleased to have you here on Uncle Doug's Goosebumps. Or should we? We should just go with Uncle Bumps. I think Uncle Bumps is the way to go.
Bumps.
Uncle Bumps
it's
sounds
weird. People get weird vibes from it, but it makes
Uncle
sense.
Bumps sounds either like a sex crime or a very bad venereal disease. I'm not happy about either one of those, but honestly...
Or both. Like one was named after the act after they got it.
Yeah, he's like,
Like, what'd you got? I got Uncle Bumps. You know,
how'd you get it?
Oh, no, I was thinking it was like you had a lot of mosquito bites. Oh, man, I got a bad case of the Uncle Bumps. Why you guys got to make it all dirty, you know?
Oh, that's true. That's, yeah. Although I feel like if you were to touch Uncle Bumps, it would feel like just tightly wrapped grapes in saran wrap. Like that, it would just trickle down.
I kind of like it.
Isn't that terrible?
And to let everyone know who this very accostive, aggressive human being is on this podcast is Dylan.
You should not
co-host
showed
of
me UK covers
We Got Goosebumps.
right before we started recording. It was the UK covers that did it to me.
I know.
Oh.
They're rough. They're right. Kev, you wouldn't know this, but the UK has a different set of Goosebumps books covers, and they all look like grapes in tight saran wrap.
See, this is the knowledge that I needed. That's why I brought in you two experts for us to talk about the 2015 film Goosebumps, because you two guys are the Polymedia resident Goosebumps experts. Now, look, people listen to Uncle Doug. They know who you are, Travis. No one cares about you, but they care about Dylan. Dylan, who are you, and what is a Dylan?
So I was born about 38, 39 years ago. I'm keeping it vague on purpose. In a little town in Germany, in Landstuhl, Rheinland-Pfalz. And my parents moved here in the summer of...
Long story short, now he's on Goosebumps.
Yeah, okay, so he's on a
87.
Goosebumps podcast. That's why he's still talking about Germany. Okay. All right.
Is this where I talk about how I split people up into camps, or like...
No.
That reference is even more ominous without the backup.
Listen, we understand that you were a camp counselor for a while, and you know what? We are proud of you and all of your accomplishments. But you know what? We are even prouder here at Uncle Bumps to have you jumping in here. What are we actually doing? Well, we are going to be covering, as a bonus episode for Uncle Doug's DVD bin, for this one single episode, it's going to be called Uncle Bumps. We are covering the Goosebumps film from 2015 with, of course, you two fantastic guys. That's what we're doing here today. I don't know if you guys knew that. I just sent you invites. You showed up, and, man, we are rolling.
It's weird that we're doing this, because I'm pretty sure I told Travis this should be on the other show that's actually about Goosebumps, and then all of a sudden I got Shanghai.
You got to do one each.
Right.
Speaking of, now you have met Uncle Doug, and we always need to get his seal of approval for folks that we're going to bring on. I mean, the podcast is named after him.
I don't like that phrasing at all. It definitely was a seal of sorts.
Oh, like sort of an aquatic, well, semi-aquatic, I guess you would say, mammal. Is that what you're thinking?
No, it was a seal. Just tight.
So did you
You know those freezers that if you're a hunter or one of them folk, you might have one of those big chest freezers in your basement.
Right. Yeah.
He kept me in one of those for a couple days. Well, we got to talking after day 3, and he agreed he'd let me out on day 7.
So I'm gonna guess you showed up to Uncle Doug's without like announcing it. You got to ring the thing at the end of the driveway.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did worse than that. I went in through the basement window because I figured like stay out of the basement. Like I kind of was following the clues that Travis had left for me in the Goosebumps series. So I was like, welcome to Dead House. Got it. That's where he lives.
Right.
Stay out of the basement. Go into the basement because that's how you get it started. And that's when Uncle Doug caught me. So I didn't even get to Monster Blood, which in hindsight might be a good thing.
Yeah. So you got to know Doug very well by staying in a freezer chest in his basement. God, if I've heard that story once, I've heard it one time.
He's gone through so many mailmen that same way.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
I mean,
the postal
They always
carriers.
come over unannounced. It's like, no, they don't, Doug. They come every morning at 8:15.
Well, no. Some of them
They're government
I feel like
employees.
It's every other day they don't come because they've got to replace the last. So it's just alternating. He doesn't even know that they're supposed to come every day. It's just like they alternate every day. It's like they're not supposed to. They're supposed to just show up.
You know, I think that's how you got in his good graces is by explaining that it's really the postal carrier's fault, not his.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to get on his side real quick, one way or the other. But
There you go.
I mean, I
There you
will
go.
say, as awful of an experience as it was to get on this podcast, the experience to get on to getting Goosey was dramatically worse.
Oh,
And that's on me. That's on me.
It was on you.
so anyway, Trav, what have you been up to, bud?
Oh, not much, Kev. I've just been alive. You know me, just living.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember. How long ago did we release an episode? Has anything happened to me? I don't think anything.
right. You got taller.
Yeah. Wait, I did?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you know, we went down to Greensboro. We did some comedy. You know,
Oh, yeah, we did. We did some stand-up in a different state. That was okay.
that was pretty fun. I quit improv.
You did?
Yeah.
That was less great.
for a little while anyway. Just need a little break,
Yeah,
you know,
sabbatical.
to focus on all this podcasting that we're trying to do here. Well,
I will say you've gotten so much better.
have I really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I've been working my vocal cords, you know, trying to be a little bit more professional, you know, bring that real like just seal of excellence to the podcast
Yeah.
for sure.
Seal.
You know?
Way to bring it back around.
Thank
like
you.
a seal.
Thank you. Now, listen, I know that you guys are serious Goosebumps fans. I mean, obviously, you love it enough to do a podcast about it. You're reading all the books, in a lot of cases, rereading them. In love with these characters, this fiction, and this work. But I got to tell you guys, I'm on team Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I didn't know those were two.
I didn't know there were two teams.
Yeah, I read both of. I read all 3 of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and the Goosebumps books.
Oh God,
You split things into camps more than Dylan does.
that was I thought I was going to really bait you guys into a serious argument here. Like we were going to just be at like odds, and it be people love that. People love arguing. But you're right. You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
They're both great.
Go yourself, Kevin. You know what? You bite the curb because there's nothing worse than someone who likes scary stories to tell in the dark. You know what I like? I like getting bumpy and goosey. And people who read scary stories in the dark and don't get goosebumps, what the fuck are you even doing? Yourself.
Where did the accent come from all of a sudden?
That's Travis makes me do that to indicate that I'm angry at him because otherwise he can't tell.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It works.
If I-
It works. I knew that time. I was like, boy, he's mad at me again for some
If
reason.
I do the southern accent, then he knows that everything's gentle and safe and happy, and so he
See? Just like
yeah.
Pa.
He always asks me to talk like Pa. It's a little concerning.
So we'll get to the plot of the film here in just a moment. But like, I was kind of curious as goosebumpers. Is that the term in the world of Goosebumps?
Sure.
Goosebumpers?
We get called a lot of things, and that's probably the nicest one.
Okay, all right. Or GBs. We could go with GBers, maybe something like that. But my question is, what monster were you most excited to see included in this film? We'll hit you first, Dylan. What was the monster for you, bud?
I wanted to see the werewolf, honestly, because I do like werewolves. I am a werewolf in our own marketing for We've Got Goosebumps. Oh, I remembered it.
That's the name of our show. Yeah, We Got Goosebumps. Yep.
So I was excited to see how the werewolf would translate, because that's one of my favorite things to see in any werewolf horror movie is the design of the wolf. And obviously seeing Slappy is kind of like a gimme. But like you gotta see, like
sure.
seeing Slappy come to life, because he's been the kind of the mascot for the series since the inception. Well, except for that skeleton, that weird skeleton kind of dude. He was there too. The Mohawk.
Yeah, guy looks fun. Yeah, I was, not to steal Dylan's excuses being on the cover, but Slappy for me. I'm Slappy on the We Got Goosebumps. But I knew Slappy's got that sarcasm. I'm just excited to see. I want to know what he's saying. He's very devious and he's got a lot of wit. In terms of monsters, though, I mean, there's some books we haven't gotten to. I wouldn't. We do a podcast. I don't think we're like experts, right? I've definitely. Dylan's read more than I have. Didn't read them all as a kid. But I was excited to see some of like the ones that are famed for being on covers, like the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, of course, and the big praying mantis guy. I mean, some of the ones that are much larger than life are fun, really fun to see on screen.
Yeah, I mean that you didn't expect in a Goosebumps movie like a giant mantis. It was almost a kaiju. That was pretty cool.
I mean,
I thought that was a nice.
If you're familiar
addition.
with Shocker on Shock Street, then you obviously would, you non-fan.
Is that
How
in
dare
Scary
you.
Stories to Tell in the Dark?
No, there are no.
I will say I do like the art in Scary Stories.
I'm going to be honest with you. The art from that book series inspired one of my stories, Song and Dance Man. So I can't. I'm obviously a big fan of that series too. You're still trying to start a fight about Scary Stories to
I
Tell in
am.
the Dark.
I'll see if I can get that little jab. By the way, I like that story of yours. By the way,
thank you.
Mostly because I just like dancing.
Oh. I don't, so I wrote a whole story about how awful it is.
Now, Goosebumps was released on October 16th of 2015, directed by Rob Letterman. Writers were Darren Lemke, Scott Alexander, Larry Karazazinski. Definitely said that one right. It starred Jack Black, Dylan Mignette, and Odea Rush. Now that's a
Dylan who? Dylan Mignette?
Yeah, I think you added a little bit too much
You went
French
really hard
in
on
there.
that.
You just say it like an American. Dylan Minette.
guys. No, that's
Manette.
I do that accent when I want Travis to know I'm mad.
Oh.
Oh, you get French.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
get a little French.
That's right.
Well,
I'm into it.
one of the things that I'd never get mad at my pal Trav for doing is going out and doing that 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, Dylan's new around here, Travis, so why don't you explain what 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is?
Well, the reason it's called 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre is because that was the episode where we got the idea that this would be fun.
Bing.
But essentially, we connect the actors from the last movie to actors in this movie. What are some interesting connective tissues, right? And so our last movie was True Lies. One of the funniest, the comic relief in the whole movie, Tom Arnold.
Yeah.
It's the peak of his career was that movie. He was in a movie called Game of Life with Dylan Mignette.
What?
Wait, so are you angry?
I don't know. I've been imprinted upon. I've never seen Game of Life, but that was like one of the more direct links between the two.
Is that
movies.
an adaptation of the board game?
Maybe. Kevin would know.
It's. I don't think it is, but I've never seen it, so I can't really say. I hate when you just go one person to another. You got anything else? You got any other interesting connections that you can maybe throw out here? Because it feels
I
like
wanted to impress the ladies that listen to this to be like, look how quick of a connection I can slam in here.
No.
But here's a fun one, right? We got Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously from True Lies. He was in Jingle All the Way. We all know that fun Christmas vehicle. He was in that with Chris Parnell.
Yeah.
Funny guy. Everybody knows Chris Parnell. Voices a lot of characters, SNL. No. He's in the sequel to the movie we watched tonight that will be on the Goosebumps podcast at some point when we all link up again. Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, and RL Stine was in that. So we have linked Arnold Schwarzenegger and RL Stine via 2 movies. How neat.
If you had asked me, could you connect RL Stine to Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'd be like, no way. It's impossible. But you did it somehow, Travis.
I'm proud.
I've
I'm
done
proud
it
to
again.
have borne witness to that, except I was too busy looking up Game of Life on IMDb to see what that was about. And
Yeah, hit us. What's a little info on the Game of Life?
well, what's hilarious is it's actually known as Oranges originally, and then became Game of Life. So its tagline just sounds like garbage compared to Game of Life now, because it's happiness doesn't grow on trees, is the tagline, which doesn't work with Game of Life, and the plot synopsis also references oranges, which was confusing for me. So I was trying to really break down what the is. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. There's going to be like work for. But it's about a children's soccer team, which is a common link for a multi-layered story, giving a candid look into the It sounds like real boring. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even want to complete that.
It doesn't sound like there's any giant mantises or talking dolls or anything.
And it's not like everyone are blue and pink pegs in cars having their lives taken away or growing. So it's definitely not based off of the Game of Life, unless they went a real interesting route for that.
Well, Trav, now you go out there and brave the wilds of Letterboxd to bring back some reviews for us. Now, we do some preview reviews, which is some reviews before the film, and then some that, touch on the plot afterwards, because we're going to cover the plot of this just landmark film. But Trav, now, since this is a bonus episode, did you, in fact, go out there and grab us some of those sweet, sweet reviews?
I did, bud. I did. I went through the Letterboxd. I found some, and I will say for the preview reviews here that we're going to read, all of them were pretty short, like just drive-by reviews, I'll say. Okay. And I didn't see people are on extreme ends sometimes, especially with movies like this. It's just a lot of 5 stars, and it's just a lot of half stars, and there's not a lot of meh. So we're just doing 5s and halves. Here. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is from Will. Will says 5 stars. If you hate this film, I don't trust you.
That's fair.
Why
No
is that fair?
punctuation.
Why is that fair? Like, you have like one bad opinion about a movie, and suddenly I'm not trustworthy?
It's if you hate this film, is this a hateable movie? I feel like if you hate this movie, you might hate joy and things that are happy. So, yeah. Will?
Yeah, how about that, Kev?
I'm with you, Will.
Do you hate joy, Kevin?
I'm not saying it's
You know what? I might. I honestly might hate joy a little bit. Now that you guys have said it out loud like that, I'm like, I might.
Honestly, since I've known him, I've been like, this guy does not like joy.
Yeah, this is not a 5-star movie by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, if you
Right.
I also feel like if you have strong opinions about a children's movie that you just watched, then maybe also re-examine a couple things going on with you, because like most of them are pretty just inoffensive creatures that you can just ignore for your entire life.
Okay, well, I really hate this review because it's forcing me to peel back the layers of myself, and I don't want any concept of what lies beneath. So let's just move on to another review.
That's also supposed to not be a very good movie, so I can understand why you might not want that comparison made.
Oh, it was okay. It was all right. This one got Harrison Ford in it, right?
I think so, yeah.
5 stars from Kay. Kay says, reader beware, you're in for a scare when you Google what RL Stine actually looks like.
Okay, that's just mean.
Oh.
That Kay, that's not okay.
And Kay, honestly,
I'll see myself
if you
out.
paid attention, he was in the movie.
That's
Yeah.
I think Dylan just left. I don't know what we're gonna. Hopefully he'll come back.
He'll come back. He usually does.
He's a good guy. He wouldn't leave you hanging. Now, RL Stine. He's not gonna be on any magazine covers, but he's not. I mean, he's not scary.
I mean, it might be on Time. I'd put him on a cover of Time.
Oh, okay.
I think he'd be fine. He's not going to be on like 17 or whatever magazines you read, Kevin. Up next, we got a 1/2 star from Wano. He says, my cousin made me hate this film.
I need to.
So
I want to learn more about this. Like, was his cousin in the movie?
Well, I know this. I know Will doesn't trust Wano.
Oh,
I know
Or his
that.
cousin, maybe.
That's the connection.
Oh, what if they are related?
Maybe.
If I'm pulling out the Dylan plot hole spackle that I've been using recently, which Dylan is amazing at, I would say that Juano's cousin just watched the movie a lot, and there by extension Juano also had to watch it a lot, and that might be why he hates the film.
It could be. Let's check in with Logan to find out more. Logan says 1/2 star. Jack Black speaks in Greta Thunberg accent.
I laughed really hard when I read that review. I'm going to be honest. Because Jack Black's accent in this movie is perplexing. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Greta Thunberg. Also, is it Thunberg or is it Thunberg? Is there an R in there?
I'm going to assume they spelled it wrong.
Okay, let's go with that.
Because it doesn't look right.
That sounds right to me, honestly. I have also accepted Bjork.
Yeah.
Like one of those two. And that's
Just
it.
lightly Icelandic.
Yes, exactly.
It's true. Like Dylan said, like the whole time I've heard RL Stine talk, it's not like that. But RL Stine still, I mean, Jack Black did a great performance, but still that accent, I was always like, why is he doing a character now?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Like, if there's a real world person that you can model your character after, why are you doing a lilting somewhere between Icelandic and British accent?
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
does sound
Willy
cool.
Wonka.
I wish I'd talk like that.
He definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Black's snappy.
It would be hilarious if we did listen to an interview with R.L. Stine and it's like pitch perfect. Like Jack Black actually did the work, and that is what someone from Cincinnati in 1970, because R.L. Stine never changed his accent. He was just like, boom, I'm never changing how I talk. I have to imagine he doesn't talk anywhere near like R.L. Stine talks on our podcast.
Oh yeah. Actually, Dylan, could you give us just a few lines of your RL Stine?
All right, I can only get into it by doing the ad.
It's kind of like a mix between like Al Pacino and Andrew Dice Clay.
What's a line from that stupid thing that I wrote? Are you out of goosebumps? Do you need more goosebumps? Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Goosebumps. Where's my...
That's like a sort of like Andrew Dice Clay has had too many Percocets. That's what I'm getting out of that.
Kevin, do you need a puppet
100%.
that you don't want to put your hand up into? Well, don't worry. Uncle Doug showed me this beautiful China doll that he's got in his attic. And oh boy, it does some things that are quite amusing. I think maybe I'll be writing a whole book about a China doll and its small porcelain fingers and what they do when you're sleeping.
Okay, well, we're gonna that was really round of applause. You're getting nothing but applause for me. It was really good, man.
That's good, because I don't think I could do that anymore without bleeding out of my voice. So.
Well, in general, when people get to saying things like slender porcelain fingers and what they can do with them, it's like, it's time. You know, we got it.
Oh,
We
no.
covered it.
Travis has a special noise that he makes to let me know we're done with RL Stine. And he hasn't made it. It's usually he's screaming directly into the camera. Stop, Dylan. Come back to me. And just over and over again until I finally remember who and where I am.
Well, guys, what do you think? We up to tackling the plot of this this landmark, incredible entry in the history of Goosebumps?
I'm ready to get in there goose first, man. Let's go.
Well, it's a little bit of an underwhelming opening. It's just a car driving on the road with a U-Haul trailer. It's not all that exciting. But one of the things that we get is a sense of Zach and his mother's dynamic, and that's played by Amy Ryan, who was on The Office. Great character on there. Great show, by the way. If you haven't seen The Office, just stop listening to us. Who cares? Go watch The Office. But they're riding in a car together, and they are leaving their life in New York City to start a new life in Delaware, Madison, Delaware, just the hub of all life and energy in the world. And the thing that catches me right off the bat is the amount of like joking back and forth and the seemingly good relationship this teenage son has with his mom. I'm calling shenanigans.
100%.
That's the point of contention you have in this movie, is the
That's it.
the beautiful relationship between Gail, a single working mom whose husband died fighting the Taliban in the World Trade Center. That's canon, right?
They don't specifically.
That's your plot hole spackle again.
He was
Sometimes I don't remember what's fake or not.
His father died as a firefighter. He was a firefighter. We do find that out later, and he died in the line of duty. Now, whether that was in the World Trade Center fighting the Taliban, I don't know. It seems unlikely.
You guys know that no one fought the Taliban in the World Trade Center, right? You know.
I'm echoing what Dylan's plot point was, just to make sure that I'm saying that I don't know that that's the case. Now,
we're gonna have to watch that 9/11 movie to get our story straight after this. Jesus.
Yeah, if you're watching Nick Cage's movies to get your facts straight, you've already messed up.
Or the Robert Pattinson one that ends with the plane hitting the tower. Remember Me?
I didn't know that existed.
I think it's called Remember Me. Spoilers, because that is... and you don't even know it's a 9/11 until the final
Oh,
scene
no.
of the movie. You should look that up. I haven't even seen it. I just know about the plot twist, which is everyone dies.
So it's like M. Night Shyamalan, but just worse.
Yeah, it's just you don't know it's September 11th, 2001, and he's in the World Trade Center at the end until the plane comes
Man,
in.
that kind of got me though. Like just I mean, if you hadn't told me that,
Oh yeah,
I
I'm sorry.
would've been
That is
really
also
surprised, but-
Robert Pattinson's "Remember Me." I'm actually doing the Lord's work and making sure no one watches that movie. I feel like that I also have not seen.
Well, back to Goosebumps. They arrive at their new house. They're getting like a sense of it, and they're talking about unpacking. And I assume that Amy Ryan's character Gail, or Mom, is from this town because her sister also lives there, or maybe her sister said, "Hey, Madison's really nice. You got to move here." I don't know exactly, but her sister shows up. And boy, does she have a housewarming gift for our little pal Zach? It's a hat. It's a bedazzled
I thought you were
hat.
giving us an
Yeah.
opening to like mention that it was not a hand job. I'm sorry, is that
It was-
allowed?
it
Because
was-
that's not a rude word, but that's kind of a rude term. So I don't know if. And I have a whole bunch regarding the 16-year-old girl's name being Hannah. And I feel like maybe those jokes I should also leave off.
I mean, just feeling out. We're like I said, we're a upstanding podcast here.
I mean, I was feeling one out through the whole movie.
Yeah, he got me. He got me, Trav. What am I supposed to do when I'm angry? I do a French accent when I'm angry. Well, anyway, his aunt shows up, and can I be honest with you guys? It's just us fellas here talking. I kind of had a crush on Aunt Lorraine. A little bit of a crush.
You mentioned that quite a few
Yeah,
times.
I noticed that.
It wasn't subtle. It was.
Yeah.
You were pretty open about it.
She wasn't on screen a ton. There was like an hour where she was pretty absent. Kev just kept on and on and
He's
on.
like, "Where's Aunt Lorraine? Where is she?"
I was like, man, I hope Aunt Lorraine comes back. She's just like funny, and like she's just, man, a cute little I just something about Aunt Lorraine just gets me.
She is funny. I do enjoy that actress in general is very funny to me.
But anyway, we've got to move on now. He, in order to escape his mom and his aunt and their cringiness, heads outside, and he's bringing in some boxes. And this is one of the little gags in the movie that just gets me. The box opens up and everything falls out of it, and it just has one rollerblade in it. Who packs just one rollerblade? I can't. It hurts inside my head.
As someone who moved a lot and still moves a lot, that's a box that has gone through at least 2 or 3 moves. Like no one's opened it. It has gone from attic to basement to attic to basement, and no one's opened it in years except at one point. Someone's like, "Where's the rollerblade?" Found one of them. Didn't dig deep enough, and then it just kept moving down the line to a new house. That rollerblade is in a backyard somewhere, but.
Yeah, you know what, Trev? You're right. He is good at this. He just plugged that hole.
I like plugging holes. I can't deny that. I'm a hole plugger.
He's a hole plugger. We do call him Plugger. That is his nickname.
Oh man! All right. Okay. Well, that's a cool nickname for a GBer. Now, as he's walking in, he's dumped his stuff out, and the cute girl next door, her name is Hannah, also a teenage girl. I'm sorry, I said also a teenage girl. Zach is a 17-year-old. I meant teenager is what I meant. And they have a little. I think in the romance movie biz, they call this a meet cute. That's what they call it. They meet each other, and it's kind of a cute little joking back sort of situation.
Yeah, kind of like how we met, right, Kev?
Oh yeah. Like I before I ever met Trav, Amy, who's the head of our improv group, said we're going to have a new guy coming to improv, and I just was trying to be funny, and she said his name was Travis, and I said, "Is it Travie Skittles or Travie Downtown?" Like there were 2 Travises that I knew, and so anyway, whenever Travis came in, I was like, "Oh, it's Travie Skittles," and he just looked so uncomfortable. I don't think he spoke for like 2 weeks.
I'm just now learning that's why you were calling me that.
Yeah. I probably should have explained that before now. Sorry, Travis. So, speaking of things that I should have explained now, more things happen after they have their little meet cute. And Jack Black pops his head out the window. Now, at this, guys, I'm going to spoil something because we're going to spoil it before it's revealed in the film. But this is actually R.L. Stine. This movie is meta. Jack Black, we actually have already spoiled this, but Jack Black is playing R.L. Stine. Now, he pops his head out the window and he yells at Dear Zach, sweet little, maybe he's going to grow up to be Channing Tatum, Zach, and says, you see this fence? Don't you come across this fence or I will murder you. Something along those lines. That's what I remember in my head. Now, put yourself in Zach's shoes. All right, you're moving into this house. You've just seen a cute girl, but you find out her dad might murder you. What's your go-to? What's your next move?
I'm hoping she's a ghost.
I mean, I hope that for most of the women I meet and I make it happen.
So she can float through the walls.
That's okay. You guys go immediately to Dead Girl. Okay, this explains why you guys have a podcast just covering horror books. I think we kind of are starting to crack the code a little bit.
What would you do, Smarty Pants?
Oh, I just be really nice to the dad so he maybe starts to like me and then date his daughter behind his back.
What if that backfires? What if he comes back and he's just like, you're real cute? And you're just like, whoa.
What if it backfired? Yeah. You went to murder Dead Girl in a heartbeat and you're worried about, oh my God, what if being nice to his dad backfires?
And he fucks you. God, I'm sorry. I just
okay. Bonus. I'm dating Jack Black. Things have
you're
dating
not.
Might be
you're dating a weird Icelandic version of RL Stine.
Of Jack Black. Well, either one would be fine. Okay. Anyway. Moving right along, we find out that Zach's dad is dead and a firefighter. Anyway, that's the gist of that scene. Now, Zach and Mom head to the high school the next day. This is his first day at school. Guys, how's this for you? His mom is actually the vice principal of the school. Like, she has been hired. So they have this, again, jokingly great relationship where he's like, come on, Mom, you're going to embarrass me. Give me, a head start. And she locks the door and won't let him out of the car. And then he's like, okay. And then he gets, a 20-second head start so that none of the kids know. And they go through this whole subterfuge because he doesn't want to tell the other kids that his mom's the principal. Then he meets a kid in the assembly, and the first thing he tells the kid is that his mom is the vice principal.
Well, that's
a power move.
Fair, that was to make Champ feel super awkward because that is the kid's name, Champ, and which does follow kind of the line of Goosebumps children's names being perplexing. Usually they're nicknames like Stork. Or Hat. Wasn't one of them called Hat? I'm looking at Travis and he's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Dylan. That never happens in the Goosebumps book. And it's like, don't leave me hanging out. You're like, I feel like you're going to do this the whole podcast. You're going to be like, no, Dylan, that's never happened.
Hat, Stork. No, you were right.
Okay, whatever. Anyway.
But yeah, Champ is, I thought that was weird for that to be his name.
His actual name.
Isn't there a character in the books named Hat?
Yeah.
We just said that.
You just repeated the fact we just told you.
I know. I'm trying to pull this bit back.
It's not a bit. That's actually what his name was. It was like Hat or something because he always wore a hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good nickname.
Well, anyway.
But he was trying to tell Champ, he was trying to make Champ feel bad. So it was like a power move. It was just because Champ was like, because Champ was like, oh, this vice principal's worse than the last one. And he's just like, that's my mom. And Champ's like, oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. Oh, I have to go. But he has a business card. Champ has a business card.
He does. It says equipment manager for the football team, which I thought was fantastic. So anyway, him and Chance, I guess, sort of become friends, and we also find out that there is a dance coming up. That it was either that day or the very next day. I believe it's the very next day. A dance was coming up, and no twerking was going to be allowed. And the principal, to uproarious laughter from all of the high school children, said, "No one should put their butt on someone else." That was a big joke.
I think he said no butt to front or something. he insinuated that no butts and crotches should touch. I don't think he would have I want to make clear. I don't think he minded if it was butt to butt.
It was or front to front facing their partner. Specifically, do not point your butt in the direction.
It was very specific.
In the direction of the person that you were dancing with. Your butt can face someone else, but not your dancing partner.
He really detailed the geometry.
So no
is what we're
spinning,
saying.
I
That's
guess,
good.
because he didn't give a time limit. So if you did a spin, your butt's like butt facing, butt facing, butt facing, butt facing. But yeah. So like that's like dangerous. That's reckless in that situation. In an environment where you're not allowed to face your partner with your butt, a spin is like putting a loaded gun up to your temple and pulling the trigger repeatedly if you can. I guess at a certain point you won't be able to pull the trigger. I'm sorry, that was morbid.
Well, anyway, the next day, that later that night, rather, our pal Zach is taking out the trash, and Hannah just jumps out of a fence. There's like a broken board in this fence that Jack Black, Icelandic Jack Black's character, was so excited about. There's a broken board. Apparently, he didn't care that much that she kind of pops out from behind and scares Zach. And Zach's like, "Hey, yeah, you scare me. You're cute. Is there anything fun to do?" She says, "Yes, let's go to an abandoned carnival."
That is fun.
Right? That's fun. I would like to actually go to an abandoned carnival. You ever watch those abandoned explorer videos where these kids are always doing these B&Es and going into these murky places without wearing proper ventilation masks and getting cancer? I love those. And sometimes they'll go into abandoned carnivals, and it's awesome because it's like, I wouldn't go for all the reasons I previously listed, but I'm happy to be on your adventure, and I just think it would be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and disagree.
If she... What,
Kevin?
Yeah, you're good. You are 100%. If you go, listen, I've seen Terrifiers. All right, the Terrifier 2. Okay, every movie I've ever seen where someone goes to an abandoned carnival, there's murder that happens at some point.
At some point, not like all the time.
Except in this one, they went to this abandoned carnival on a nice date, and nothing bad happened to them. So
Until later, when
that.
they go back to the abandoned carnival.
when they bring they're the ones that bring the monsters, though. So that's not even like the carnival's fault. That is the children being like, you know what this carnival's missing? An evil dummy and a 700-foot tall mantis. I was about to say 7-foot tall mantis, which is terrifying. Like if I saw a praying mantis taller than me.
Too.
It is funny how that is actually still terrifying. Yeah.
But that is
Why
not
is
how
that
big it was.
scarier than a 70-foot tall? Why is a 7-foot tall mantis scarier than a 70-foot
I feel like
tall?
you could,
It feels that way.
I feel like you could avoid the larger mantis. Like, I'm gonna just duck inside real quick, buddy. Whereas the 7-foot tall mantis is like, he's got to know you're there. He's in your face, like, and you're definitely a snack worth having.
He's trying to ride you.
It's in a scale. Like, he sees a bunch of little people. It's like a popcorn situation you could escape. Whereas the 7-foot tall mantis, like, you're a full meal. He's not gonna let you get away. You're not just a little popcorn person. Yeah.
Man, you're right. That's a very good explanation.
You're wrong about all of your opinions tonight, Kevin. I'm sorry, but like,
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? It's like I didn't know I was wrong about him until we started this. And you know what? Sometimes you got to be corrected, and I appreciate you for doing that, my friend.
I will say your opinion about Aunt Lorraine is acceptable. She is an attractive woman.
Okay, yeah, she is. Yeah, she's like. I mean, she's not a full 10, but she's like, if I was a 7-foot mantis, she would be a full person snack. Anyway, they end up having a date at the abandoned car. I don't know if it's a date. It's like it's a get to know you sort of sesh. They climb a Ferris wheel. Zach's being a little bit of a worrywart. He's like, oh, if I had a tetanus shot, I don't want to get, the tetanus. And then as soon as he gets up there, he's sitting up there with a pretty girl. He's communicated well. He definitely drops that "my dad's dead" thing early on to kind of maybe get a little sympathy and make himself seem more emo. So I definitely appreciate his game. And then he's like, well, how do we get down from here? And that's the thing he's most concerned about, which they actually never answer how they get down.
Because she tells them there is no way to get down. And that's where we leave off. But he has a definite quaver in his voice, too. This isn't just a moment of like, I'm going to be practical. He's like, no, how do we get down from here, Scoob? Like, he sounds a little like I might be terrified.
Yeah.
I have a theory I just came up with about this movie. They actually never got down. And the hallucination, because there's nothing supernatural weird happening in the film up until this point, right? It all kind of starts after this. Maybe those are like his death row hallucinations as he's sort of starving to death because they actually can't get down. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good spackle.
Okay, all right, good. I'm not going to give Dylan time to respond because he'll probably correct me. But what I am going to do is tell you guys that when they get back, All right, they think they've as teenagers do, they think they've gotten away with it. Well, as soon as they get back, RL, who is Hannah's father, catches them, and he does some more yelling.
He's coming across a little overprotective. I don't know, red flags for me.
That's why you got to be nice to him first.
Which is even weirder when you find out about what Hannah is or isn't.
Yeah, let's not spoil anything. Now, a little bit later, Dylan is in his room working on his homework, and he hears...
Nope. The character's name is Zach.
He's not in his room?
The actor's name is Dylan, and I'm Dylan.
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you. Zach is in his room doing his homework. Dylan Mignette's character is in his room doing his homework, and he hears screaming and yelling coming from the house next door, the Stine house, if you will. And I kind of... this sort of kind of gets explained to the police officers who get called. Zach panics. Dylan Mignette's character panics and calls the police because he thinks that Hannah is in danger with all this screaming. There is like smashing of things, and like it definitely seems like there is actually domestic violence happening in the house. So I can't be particularly upset that Zach does get concerned and call the police. What I can be
I don't blame him.
upset about is that like he goes over there with the police with his mom and insists on like pushing his way into the house like a nosy neighbor he is.
This movie felt very much like The Frighteners or Monster Squad. Like it felt very much like a callback to like those 80s flicks with kids fighting off monsters all the time. Except those movies were a little meaner.
Yeah, well, that happens again here, but mostly I think because these police officers seem to be very incompetent, and you know, one's a trainee and the other one just sort of seems clueless, and they're satisfied when RL Stine he turns up his television set and says, "I was watching a horror movie," and that's what my neighbors heard, and they seem satisfied by that. Well, a little later in the evening,
I will say, though, that would have been a great place for a bum, bum, bum. You know what I mean? That right there, that little line. Because that's what, I don't know, Kevin, you probably don't listen to We Got Goosebumps because you're too good for us, because we don't have a We Got Scary Stories in the Dark book podcast. But
well, it would only be a 3-episode podcast.
It's true. We go chapter to chapter, and we leave all because R.L. Stine does his little cliffhangers, right?
Yeah.
We leave off with a little bum, bum, bum. That's how we know to turn it off to the next person. And that moment with I was watching a horror movie.
Bum, 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 bum.
That would have been when that would have kicked in.
Is that a good
Sorry, I had to explain a whole podcast.
I guess they could just check it out on the Polymedia network every Thursday.
It's not every Thursday. It's not even on Thursdays.
Dylan, if you're going to do an ad read, you got to do the R.L. Stine voice.
I don't even know what our podcast is called, so it would be pretty bad if I tried to do an ad read right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Watch Getting Goosey on the Family Hour on Thursdays, only on Polymedia Network, Channel 5, WRKG.
Great. That was really good, actually. I don't know if any of it's true, but I really liked it.
None of it's true. No.
So Gail, Zach's mother, has just to get this train back on the tracks before we get totally derailed. Bum bum bum. Gail, who is Zach's mother, is chaperoning a dance at the school. Remember, we mentioned there's going to be a dance.
Oh yeah.
So she heads off to that and leaves Zach to hang out with his aunt. For me, it seems weird that, I'm not complaining, first of all, that Aunt Lorraine's here. I'm not. It just seems weird that she's like, you're 17 or 18 years old, but I'm going to have your aunt stay with you. Like, at that age, having a babysitter to me is kind of weird if you're like a 17, 18-year-old boy. You know?
Kevin. Let me get on my spackle. Like, we just finished up the scene where the cops are like, your son is definitely on drugs, that he came over here and was bothering your nice neighbor, and he probably needs help. And she agreed with them. I think she wanted Aunt Lorraine there because she's like, my son is a drug fiend. And she's more there to make sure he doesn't go bother the neighbors. This isn't a normal babysitting situation. This is like, let's call him the cool aunt because he called the cops and filed a false police report. Kevin, come on. That was an easy one.
I think your Dylan Spackle's a little off here. Nobody's calling Aunt Lorraine in to be the responsible adult, my dude.
I mean, I think it's like you double it up. Like, hopefully, if you put the two of them together, they'll learn responsibility, and they didn't. It was tragic. Like, maybe she was trying to get her sister to step up, too, because I feel like there's a huge age difference because Aunt Lorraine looks like high 20s, while like not Aunt Lorraine, the mom, looks like she's like mid 40s.
Well, either way, Aunt Lorraine doesn't do her job very well. Zach slips out the window, but not before he calls his pal, his new best friend, Champ, to come help him, because what they wanted. Well, he lies to Champ. Not a good way to endear yourself to your new friend. He tells Champ that, hey, I've got a couple of girls that are going to go on a date with us. So poor Champ shows up wearing like a very dapper J.C. Penney suit to take these ladies out, and there's none there.
It's tailored. Doesn't look bad on it. It's not baggy.
Tailored, yeah.
Like, he's a teenager. There's no way that it would have fit him right off the rack. It would have been like, the sleeves would have been 5 inches too short. The pant legs would have been 6 inches too long. Like, they had to like snip some things off.
And like, if it was tailored, it's not like he just got it tailored that day. Like, he's had that suit in standby for a while. Like, he's been trying so hard to get a date, and he thinks this is it. And he shows up, and his pal's like, okay, I lied to you. There's only one girl, and we need to break into this house to see if she's been murdered. That's what we need to do. So they somehow. I should mention the way that Zach ensures that RL Stine, dad, is not at home is he pretends to be a police officer and calls RL and says he has to come down to the police station. All right. Now that's what happens.
Man.
Yeah, I know.
He's already butting in front of cops. Now he's impersonating them. This kid, I don't know. He does worry me a little bit. I don't think he's all there.
Yeah, he seems, and he gets very I mean, he's met, it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet situation. He's met Hannah Job like not even a day and a half before, and suddenly he's deeply in love with her and breaking into her house to check on her. That's straight up stalking right there.
You're right. And the crazy thing, she's not even...
Okay, all right. I'm gonna bleep that whole bit out because you just spoiled the big twist of the whole movie, Travis. Okay, we haven't gotten there yet. So anyway, he breaks into the basement and he's going through the house. There's bear traps in the basement. That's weird. He gets up to it's sort of the study.
Do you not have bear traps in your basement?
Wait, that is weird. That's never really... I don't even know what that's explained.
All right, guys. It makes perfect sense that you have bear traps in his basement.
I mean, yes, when you understand that he has these manuscripts for all the Goosebumps books in his study, his office, right? So we see these books, right? And then all of a sudden, wham! A swing of like a lamp or something comes at Zach and Champ. Well, it turns out it's Hannah. She's fine, but she thinks they're burglars. I like that also she, like, this is a clear open room. A, they didn't see her coming, and B, she still doesn't realize it's the knucklehead from next door. Like, she's still, I mean, I guess maybe she wants to take a shot at him. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But in the meantime, they have taken one of these books off the shelf that are locked. They have taken a key out of like a glass jar. Also, RL, if you want to keep the key to the book safe so nobody can get it, maybe don't leave it in an easily open container, open on your desk. Just don't do that. Anyway, they have opened up one of these books. All right. Wha-boom. It falls out of his hand when he gets hit. Guys, we've got a Yeti coming out of this book.
Yes. Too late if you ask me.
Wait, I have to back up and fill a couple plot holes here.
Okay, all right.
Actually, not really. But I will say that it is reminiscent of how cursed items often work in the Goosebumps universe, which is they're just laying out and about. Like the mirror that turns kids invisible, it's just in an attic behind a door. But it's not locked even. Like, they just stumble across and they're like, let's go fall into the mirror world. The cursed camera, that was at least hidden. But again, not locked. It's in an abandoned house.
Yeah.
Guarded by a man who calls himself Spider, which is ominous. But, like, that's every cursed item. It's just in an attic, in a basement.
Yeah, and a kid bought like a mummy's foot that commanded a whole army of mummies for $1.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that is a good deal. That's good value, though.
That's a good deal.
That was actually a good cursed object, because that was more like a blessed object, I guess. Less than something like...
yeah, I guess.
Or the haunted mask.
So it wasn't like
just in a back room, and all you had to do is dicker for 10 minutes, and the guy just sells it to you. And he knows it's a bad mask. Oh, my God, that whole story... Literally, it's this whole back and forth between the shopkeeper and this little girl, and finally she wears him down that he sells her a living face that he knows will permanently bond to her, and they're called the Unloved. He's like, well, $10 is $10. Here you go.
I mean, you know what? Inflation is hell right now. You know, you got to keep your store open. You got to do what you got to do. Just like you got to do what you got to do when the abominable snowman, a giant Yeti, comes ripping out of this book. Now, one of the things that I liked here was that when the Yeti comes out, he's not immediately seeing the children. You know, he's like running into lamps and just sort of being a little bit of a creature for a second. I thought that was really enjoyable and a nice little touch. It wasn't like he was immediately a scary figure. However, poor Champ, he accidentally knocks over a lamp and the Yeti sees him, and guys, it is on.
You were talking about a lot of the scenes from the Yeti that I like the lamp thing. You know, it's got some real good zany kind of wacky humor mixed in with all the horrors. We also get, this might be our first like close-up look at some of the CGI in the movie, which isn't great throughout. Like, it's, for me, it's fine. I'm not gonna be picky about it because I'm watching a nostalgic movie, and even the bad CGI gives me kind of another weird layer of nostalgia. But it is kind of jarring a little bit. I don't think it aged all that well, and I don't think it was that good for its time.
No, it's not great, but I do like some of the creature designs themselves.
Yeah, they got a lot of character.
I'm going to say, like, when I was, because I was very strident about this point during the film, that while, like, it's kind of goofy animation, I think you even mentioned this, Travis, that it looks like the covers kind of reminiscent of like the creature designs, or that kind of like cartoony, realistic kind of look that you'd see on the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena's cover or whatever. And everything's animated well. Everything moves in an interesting, like when the werewolf is jumping around in the supermarket. Yeah, it looks like a cartoon werewolf, but it moves good, and it's spooky in its own kind of way. I'm not just saying that because it's the werewolf.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, so the Yeti goes after Champ. Somehow he gets out of the way, and the Yeti smashes through the wall, which was pretty rad. Takes off down the street. Now Hannah goes, I know what to do. I'm gonna grab this book, and I'm gonna take care of this Yeti situation. So she runs out, and the boy Zach is definitely wanting to follow his crush. Champ's like, dude, hey, there's a Yeti. Like, we can't. Why are we running the direction of the Yeti that tried to murder us? But in the end, Zach wins because he's the main character. I don't know any other reason that Champ would go along with
That's
it.
the only.
Champ's pretty desperate.
That's it.
I don't know. Like, when he first introduces himself to Zach doesn't have an option in that interaction. It's like Zach's just sitting by himself. Champ sits down next to him. He's like, my name's Champ. Do you need a friend? I'm your new best friend. Here's my card. Like,
the new kid's always a chance to finally have a friend for Champ. So
that's true. Because there's a moment where, like, a gal walks by them, and he's like, hey, Al, or whatever her name is, Allison. And she's like, hey, chump. And he's like, it doesn't hurt. And we get a real painful moment into Champ's life. God, it must be hard being a complete doofus and your name is Champion. Like, that's just mean. That's an awful life to give to your child. Like, don't give them a name that gives them any sort of promise or something to look forward to. Like, call them loser. Like, that would be better, because then be like, I'm not a loser. I'm a champion. And he changes his name.
They're constantly triumphing. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just really feeling.
I mean, he comes out ahead in the end. You know.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. That's a.
Well, how else could you put it?
That was.
No, we said that was one way. Like, that's fine.
Oh, that's it. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was like, man, maybe I messed up again.
No.
Well, they head off. Where are we? Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. So they head off after the Yeti. They chase it down to the ice skating rink. There's some pretty good gags here. I think the Zamboni. Is it Zamboni or Zambini? Boni. Okay, yeah, that gag is pretty good.
Only because I've said Zamboner a lot in my life. And I wouldn't have made that connection if it were Zambini. But there is a great gag here. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I saw both of you guys laugh out of your mouths at that particular bit. So I knew it was a good bit.
That was an amazingly done bit. The Foley work, the editing, spot on. We won't explain it at all, though.
We will.
No.
All right. So Chump, that's his name. He gets into the Zambini. And he's getting ready. He's about to haul it away. He's getting ready to move fast. He's getting clutching, grabbing, John Wick, and then it doesn't move.
I mean, it makes it like and just it goes forward a foot. I think maybe that might have just been him getting out of the vehicle. Honestly, that made it roll forward. It was amazing, and he was a chump in that
I also
moment.
just wonder, like, what was his plan when he got to the end of the ice? Like, I mean, I guess they do drive off ice, right? But like, not as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he would have really just advanced 40 feet and would have had to get off.
Or just keep going in a circle.
Hold on,
you got a NASCAR that sucker, like, because that critter's going to get tired around the third circuit. And they're running on, I don't know what a Zamboni runs on. Is it like a Flintstones vehicle? Like they're just kicking it underneath there? Like is that a gas-powered vehicle? That seems dangerous inside of an arena, like a closed arena. You're going to give everyone carbon dioxide poison and kill the whole stadium. Like that seems like just dumb.
No. Back in the 70s and 80s, I bet it ran on diesel, but now it's probably electric. I bet they plug that sucker up. In the 70s, 80s, everybody's smoking anyway, so it didn't
just
even
thinking
matter,
of just a big old semi going around that thing, just chugging out black smoke, and everyone's just like, well, it's almost like nicotine, so close enough.
Well, in this case, it didn't really matter. They have a little bit there with the Zamboni. Eventually, the book sort of gets knocked away from them, so they can't get the Yeti back into the book. Now, that's the hook of this, is that you realize pretty quickly that the monsters can be escaped from the books, but when you open the book up, you can also suck the monster back in. So that's kind of the way the magic works in this. And the Yeti is just getting ready to straight up murder these children because they're trapped in the penalty box. They can't get out. And all of a sudden, boom, RL Stine, a.k.a. Jack Black with an Icelandic accent, comes up behind the Yeti with the book and sucks that Yeti back in there. And it actually looked incredibly painful and sort of horrific for the Yeti. I kind of had a moment there where I felt bad for the creature.
It was like his intestines...
like rips a hole in the middle of it.
Yeah, like he was pulling his intestines out through his back hole. Like, that's not fun. I assume that's not fun.
Yeah.
I've only been through that once or twice, and I was a little drunk. But that was actually one of the cool effects that I was just like, that's really well done, actually. And also the Yeti coming to life was really well done, where they did a close-up of the page, and you could see the ink bubbling up out of the page and coming together to form the Yeti. I feel like they put all of their budget into that scene, because like, that's going to be in the trailer, so we need to get that up a little bit.
Well, and that also illustrates how we all took in our imaginations with the book, right? Like the actual ink forms the monsters that we're seeing as we read those as children or whatever, or as 40-year-olds doing a podcast about them. But, I don't know, I thought it was a nice little allusion to just how we ingest these books.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the kids, as you can imagine, RL Stine is not very happy with them, and they're riding back in the car. And this is when the kids know for sure that it is RL Stine. Zach uses a mean trick on poor RL. He starts talking about how, because RL won't acknowledge that he is, in fact, the author, he is denying it, and Zach says, well, I'm glad you're not R.L. Stine anyway. He's terrible. His books aren't as good as Stephen King. And then all of a sudden, R.L. goes full like, well, you know what? I've actually sold more books than him. He gets like really, I could feel his frustration at not being taken as seriously as Stephen King. Like, it really kind of came gushing out all at once.
Yeah, and I think it... I mean, obviously, to put the reference in there, I think he and Stephen King are pals, but it is kind of fun to acknowledge the little rivalry they have as being well-known horror authors, especially when you're young. Those are the two big names, I think, for a lot of people. And
there's a lot of reasons to kind of be irritated with RL. He makes some questionable moral decisions and is kind of a curmudgeon. But I do like that Champ is being very obnoxious and insists on taking a selfie with him, so RL just chucks his phone out the window. I was like, yeah, that got me amped up.
Oh yeah, the number of child yelling interactions. I mean, you guys know I can't stand children in any way, shape, or form, which is why I'm on a children's book podcast. But like seeing Jack Black just scream at children for 90 solid minutes was cathartic for me. I enjoyed that. One of my favorite jokes
and there's
was,
a bit.
Yeah, you might even be about to say it.
I bet I am. It's the bit towards the end where he's like trying to do right, and he's like, "I'm gonna save everybody by driving away the book." And Champ's like, "You're a hero." He's like, "Shut up, Champ!" And he's like, "I'm sorry. I yelled at you." Again.
No, he doesn't even say. He says, "Shut up, Champ," and then he's like, "No, I'm sorry. Shut up." Like his concession to being nice was to say it less loud, like, and not as aggressively. He's like, I'm trying to be. I do love that everyone had a character arc, even if it was just felt like spackled on, like I do at the end of the movie, where like Jack Black is like, I should be nicer. He's like, were you trying to be nicer through the movie? Because I feel like all of a sudden you learned a lesson to not be a curmudgeon, but we'll get there.
Well, back at the RL Stine Ranch, they come back. RL's like, all right, we gotta get out of here. You and me, Hannah, let's pack up everything. Let's go down the road. And Zach's like, well, I'm just gonna break into their. I'm not gonna be invited. I'm just gonna go back in the house again and say, no, you can't leave. Why are you leaving? Look, it doesn't really matter. We know he likes Hannah. He doesn't want him to leave. But the big thing that happens in this scene, guys, is the reveal of Slappy. That's right. You get a big old Slappy in this scene.
I loved it, man. I love that he's introduced so early so we can get a lot of his quips, and you know he's going to be, because he's the most sociopathic sort of evil freak. Like he's as close to the devil as you can get in R.L. Stine's universe, so he has to play a significant role here. So the reveal was fun because you knew it's about to get. I was gonna say it's about to get real, but I guess it's about to get real dumb.
No, there it is. I wouldn't want Slappy to hear you say that though,
because he's a dummy.
Yep. That's a just. I guess if you do not know either this film or the Goosebumps franchise, I'm not entirely sure why you're still listening at this point, but
because they like the podcast, Kevin.
Oh, I didn't. I have self-confidence issues and figured no one liked me. So anyway, the point I'm making here is, that doesn't help with it. Now, the point that I'm making here is that
my dad died fighting the Taliban last year. Do you guys like me more?
Jesus, what are we on a Ferris wheel already?
We could be.
So. Anyway, yeah, it would be fun in an abandoned amusement park. But anyway, the point I'm making here is that Slappy is a ventriloquist dummy, all right? And if you're not familiar with him from the books, he is a very sinister, evil sort of, character. He even does murder. Is that Night of the Living Dummy, is that right? Is that the book that he's from? Is that the one where, like, he somehow, hangs a guy? Or am I just making that up in my head? Have you read that book recently?
What? Yes, there was a brutal.
Slappy
kills a whole family just with
like
rope.
Slappy somehow like somebody. It's like somebody's like hanging a lamp or something, and he like kicks the chair out from under him, and they accidentally like choke on the lamp cord or something. Am I just totally? Maybe I had a lot of ventriloquist dummy related nightmares.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's pretty grim for a Goosebumps book. Oh, Dad nearly got hanged by a dummy. No, I think you're thinking of like the Talking Tina episode of Twilight Zone or something like that.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
I mean, there are some sequels we've not gotten to yet, but that would be kind of beyond.
Honestly,
the
there are some pretty dark moments in
know.
that book anyway. But like, because really,
Does Slappy not murder people? Like, I figured he definitely murdered people.
He comes close a lot.
He tries to murder people, but like it's a children's horror series, so people very rarely actually die. Although when they do, it's surprisingly like in Hannah's fate in the Ghost Next Door, which this Hannah is based off of. She burns alive at the beginning of the book. Like, she wakes up in the middle of the night, her bedroom's on fire, and she's like, I hope this is a dream. You find out it's not a dream. That is how she died. You find out how this child burns alive in her bedroom because her two brothers had a campfire. So it's their fault, too. And they burned their whole family alive. That's a Goosebumps book. But it's
There's actually...
Yeah, it's messed up.
There's an episode of Little House on the Prairie that's almost the exact same thing. I wonder if they... if they, I mean, there's no ghost in it, but like a house gets burned down by like a girl. I think she was like trying to smoke like some tobacco or something, and like the whole house gets burned down. And I think like a kid dies in the fire, and she's like racked with guilt and stuff. Little House on the Prairie goes just as dark as the Goosebumps, if not darker. All right, so I just want to put that out there.
And I'm glad you did, Kev, because next season we're going to be coming out with our Let's Get Prairie Bumps podcast. So
Can I come to do a guest appearance on that one? That sounds like a lot of fun.
I thought you were hosting it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
on
in.
that one.
I'm already, I'm ready to do a retrospective on Little House of the Prairie. Well, anyway, I don't honestly know where we are in the film right now, but I'm just gonna pick back up with we have had the reveal of Slappy.
We're about 20 minutes into the movie. Yeah, so
That's yeah. So Slappy is reveal. RL tries to capture Slappy after we get some quipping back in the book. Slappy rightfully is like, "Hey man, you've been trapping me in this book all this time. I thought we were friends. I guess I'm gonna have to go on an almost murder spree." So he somehow magic zaps away all of the books, hops in his murder mobile. He's got a car now, which is cool. Slappy, I mean, he's got a driver's license.
license plate haunted.
That's
That's
cool.
true. How he reaches the pedals, I don't need to know, and I don't really care. But he starts opening books and sort of throwing them out all over town. He also, after he opens the book, sets it on fire, presumably after the monster gets out, so it cannot be returned to the book. So he's sort of destroying these books. That's how the magic works, right? The book, you can't retrap the monster. Well,
That's important for the last scene in this movie.
it is. It is. We'll put a pin in that. So they are now suddenly heading back downstairs, trying to figure out what they're going to do about this Slappy situation. When RL and the three kids get attacked by, there's no other way to put it, murder gnomes. They get attacked by murder gnomes.
That's right. And now that we've seen Slappy, we got a bit of the abominable. I never say it. I'm going to say white Bigfoot.
I
We got
told
to
you
see
that's
white
not
Bigfoot.
acceptable in like 38 states. You can't say that.
Well, we're only listened to in 3, so it's fine. But now we get sort of like a windfall of different creatures
Right.
being introduced. So we got the gnomes, and we'll get a few more. But it almost becomes difficult to keep track of. But the gnomes, obviously, from the original series, Dylan and I will get to that soon enough.
The gnomes are part of what I like in terms of like animation. Like, no, they don't look 100% real, but the way that they've moved them is so like different from like how Slappy moves, for example. Like Slappy is usually very still and like his head might turn or something. Like he's not that animated when you see him. He's usually like sitting in a spot and then all of a sudden you see him at a different spot when the lights go out. The gnomes move in kind of like this jerky like rock kind of motion. Like if you were expected a rock person to move because they're little porcelain or ceramic. I don't know what gnomes are made out of. I assume they were made out of plastic, but these are rock hard.
It's like what is it called? Like
Yeah.
the stop animation.
Yeah, a little
feel of it,
bit,
but
yeah.
and creepier.
So I'm just gonna like rapid fire a couple little quick scenes that happen there. But essentially they fight the murder gnomes, they smash all of them, and then we'll see this happen. You can't really kill the monsters; you can only put them back in book. If you destroy them, blow them up, smash them, whatever, they sort of go T2 style. They turn to liquid metal, and then they reform themselves. So that is very
it's all
important to keep in
futile.
mind. You just can't take them out. So they decide to flee. So then we cut to we see monsters busting out everywhere. Slappy's heading down the road, tossing books out the window. The killer plants come out. They smash the cell phone towers. So we know that the town is now cut off. They can't make emergency calls.
Which I love. That's like the modern way to like snip the phone cord in
Right.
a house that you're about to attack. You got to take down the whole cell phone tower.
Done.
Also,
Only way to do
How
it,
did
man.
those monsters know about cell phone towers since they're all written in 1993? Huge plot hole for me. Big X. All of a sudden. Can't fill that plot hole.
Wow, that's the plot hole that got you. That one. I could even spackle that one over. Come on.
I'm sorry. Are they? Did they do research at the library before they went tearing around town? Listen, big plot hole.
If they're parts of RL's psyche, don't they already know what RL knows?
If you have read any of R.L. Stine books, you'll know he doesn't know a lot about technology, or based on the smartwatch that appeared in the most recent Stine Tinglers. Actually, no, there's another Stine Tinglers out. In the first Stine Tinglers, he talks about a smartwatch as if it's filled with gears and cogs. Like, it's adorable.
He does think it. Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be like 97 years old. Will you cut the guy a break? All right.
So old. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, actually. When I see him pop up on like a Twitter trending, I get scared.
I love that his expression in every single picture is the same, which is like, just like, imagine a basset hound became a man.
Yeah, look like he hates children.
And that is kind of the expression that R.L. Stine always has.
That actually is a great idea for an R.L. Stine book.
That was My Best Friend is Harry.
Revenge of the Basset Hound Man.
Oh.
At the police station, the incompetent police officers are still being incompetent, and Slappy shows up, quips a little bit, and then aliens freeze them. They have freeze rays. Aliens show up and freeze the police. Back at Zach's house, his poor, sweet Aunt Lorraine opens the door, and there's a poodle standing there. Now, being the kind, wonderful, funny, attractive person that she is, goes and gets some water for this poor little poodle. She comes back. Turns out it's a vampire poodle floating in the air, ready to murder her.
It's Fifi the vampire poodle from Please Don't Feed the Vampire.
Man. Yeah, I wouldn't want to feed a vampire poodle. I don't even know I'd feed a regular poodle.
Okay.
They're cute.
I don't think I'd feed vampires poodles.
That would be that. You know what? Isn't there a scene in Interview with a Vampire?
There is a scene. There is
where he eats a
Let's
poodle.
he eats a poodle.
Man, that takes me back. That takes me back to a simpler time. Anyway, she slams the door, and then we're gonna fast forward. All of them are driving down the road in that sweet Wagoneer that R.L. Stine owns. And there's they have a little bit of a kind of a fender bender situation. They get out, and Champ goes, "Oh my God, everyone in town's frozen. That's my dad. Oh my God, my dad is dead and frozen." And he's like, "Oh, never mind, it's not my dad." You're like, dude, you're just rubbing it in to poor Zach. You know his dad's dead, and you're just gonna rub in your dad's still alive, just like that.
His dad was frozen to death fighting the Taliban at the very top of the World Trade. It was cold, and he looked like a frozen man. And so this is not nice.
Anyway, so back in the world of Goosebumps, Zach comes up with the idea after he takes a moment to mourn his poor father. He says, all right, what if, RL, you just write a book, and in the book, all of the monsters go back in a book? It's meta, because we're already watching a meta movie on top of meta with more meta. It's like I'm reading Frankenstein, because that's like the frame story and the frame story of the frame story of the frame story, right? So that's what we're getting a little bit of here. Even RL says, well, that's a stupid idea. His daughter says, you got a better one? He goes, nope, let's do it. So that is the plan. So they need RL's amazing magic typewriter. Now, he put it in the only place that someone could possibly put their magic typewriter, in the high school. He puts it there. So they've got to go to the high school. Now, they're cruising down the road. Everything's going fine. We think, well, they're just going to get to the high school. He'll type it up on the typewriter. Everything's going to be just fine. Guess what? It's not, guys. The car gets attacked by the invisible boy.
Oh, my God. That son of a bee. He's a real he's a real terrorist. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what he's from, because I haven't read all of them. He may be like a later thing, but
you know who he might be? That awful child that was in Let's Get Invisible, like the younger brother who, by the end of the book, you realize might still be the mirror child because he was called Lefty. That was his nickname. We were telling you about the nicknames. This kid's name was Lefty, but then by the end of the book, he's catching with his right.
Could have sworn
he's
it was a cat.
He's from a My Best Friend is Invisible, which is later for us. It's
so it's not from the first book,
series number
about
57.
The invisible children. It's from
No.
Which is good because that would be a little messed up because those were just invisible normal children. So to have R.L. Stine try and run him off the road in his car,
make one evil.
I mean, I got to be honest. The Invisible Boy was not so much of a threat. He just sort of sped up and he fell off the back and said, "Hey, that wasn't cool." But you know what was a big threat? R.L. he dodges a power line, smashes into the side of like an embankment. And then all of a sudden, there is a giant mantis in the middle of the road. I'm talking about a praying mantis, all right, of the religious sort.
They're not. Are there? I think they're all pretty religious, right?
No, I mean, maybe more spiritual than religious.
Yeah, that's a good
but
point.
anyway, this mantis is getting ready to destroy them in the car. RL does take time to turn the windshield wipers on because it had some bug goo on it, and they take off. Now,
that's my second plot hole, by the way. Mantises do not actually spit out a sticky substance in order to trap their prey. That's what those giant claws are actually for. They like to grab things with those razor sharp claws on their front person. So that's a pretty big flaw for me that his mantis spat webbing out of its mandibles, because I don't even think there's an apparatus inside of a mantis that would do such a thing.
Now hold on a minute, Dylan. I'm just going to use a little Kevin spackle here. Now you've got to remember that. Again, you've talked about how RL does not have the greatest concept of either technology or science. But yet this is the mantis that he wrote. So it's not real world biologically accurate. Is it in fact the one from his mind?
That is honestly what I would accept 100%. I'm back on board. I will share that one of the most adorable things that praying mantises do is when they eat a butterfly, because they eat butterflies, they hold the butterfly wings in their little claws and then just eat straight down the middle. And so you can often tell if a mantis is in your, say, butterfly bush by the just kind of discarded wings that litter the underneath of your flowers there.
I wonder if that was killing the moths around my house. I would find just like moth wings just in the grass and then no moth.
Possibly.
So you think maybe it was
could be,
mantises?
it would be praying mantis. I'm not sure about birds. I feel like bird would eat whatever it could get its fat mouth around. But a mantis definitely kind of corn on the cobs it and just like goes straight down the middle.
Man, well, you know what,
so
though? My mantises in my yard aren't 40 feet tall like the one in the Goosebumps film here. Now, they are trying to flee this thing, and they end up somehow fleeing into a parking lot. If I'm trying to drive quickly away from a giant mantis, I'm not going to go in a parking lot. But, I'm no RL Stine. What do I know? So the car, he wrecks it in a parking lot somehow. So they decide, well, let's get out of the car and go in the store, or this mantis is going to kill us. So they end up in the store, and there's a fun little moment here where we get a little bit of just some nice bonding dialogue. I really like this scene where basically Hannah divulges that she's been sneaking out of the house and kind of going around the town, and RL says that she's grounded, and then and Champ's like, gosh, I tell you, these kids nowadays, and he gets yelled at for his trouble from RL. I just like that whole bit. They also have a bonding moment when RL's like, look, just because Champ is thirsty from all the running around, he's like, just steal a soda. He's like, you don't think anybody would mind? He's like, everybody's frozen, and he's just so excited.
Well, but then he has trouble picking it, and so RL's he's like, should I get the grape? Should I get just take the orange? And just like.
You got to take the orange. That's the best
throughout
choice.
the movie, you do see Champ and R.L. Stine kind of getting closer as the
Right,
he explains
right.
his nickname at one, or not his nickname, his real name at one point. So there are these moments throughout where it's just like R.L. Stine is not warming to Champ, but not hating Champ as much as he did.
He grows on you. He really does. Zach and Hannah also have a little moment to bond, and their budding little teen romance. But all of that is cut short by the fact that, guys, there is a flippin' werewolf in this grocery store, and he's just, where would you find a werewolf? Werewolf. Where would you find a werewolf? There.
I have to go.
Anyway, you'd find him in the meat
breaking
section.
point for me.
Hold on. Listen, it was. You'd find him in the meat section. That's where you'd find him.
If I could squeeze in here, we did just release a Werewolf in Fever Swamp episode over on We Got Goosebumps, so this is a very fresh monster for... I don't know when this episode comes out, but still within the season 2. So it was good to see, a lot of the references, a lot of the monster references we've not covered on the podcast yet. We've not read the books just yet. Some of them reference book series that are a little later, so we might not even get to them. But I got to say, it's really rewarding to see some of the ones we've covered so far. And the werewolf was one of those that was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely Will Blake wearing giant. I don't know how his shoes grew, but they apparently grew with him.
He had real stretchy kids. Like, just the stretchiest kids. Because they look like designer kids for a werewolf's foot. Not like shoes that he werewolfed into, but like, I need something that's about 5 feet long, because my heel bone has It's big now. We need to get the... And it's like, all right, do you still want to play basketball? It's basically like a more realistic Teen Wolf.
Yeah. That's exactly what came to mind to me too. Well, this werewolf, I did think the monster design was really cool. The teeth look sharp. I like the movement. I like that it sometimes stood on its back legs, sometimes moved as a wolf. I thought that was pretty cool. But it just chases them around the grocery store. It doesn't get them. There's a few gags here, but essentially they manage to evade the wolf. They get outside. They slam a big metal door, and RL Stine's like, well, he's not getting through there. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 he's smashing down the door. He gets through the door. He runs away. And they run away from the werewolf. They end up, of course, they run down an alley area, sort of where they're blocked. And there's a cool scene where, much like Freddy Krueger with his long claws, the werewolf is sort of walking between these two box trucks and like scraping his sharp claws menacingly as if he's about to kill them. Well, guys, when he steps out, my girl Aunt Lorraine, who's coming to, apparently she owns a store here, just comes out of nowhere and boom, hits that werewolf.
She has like a
with
whole
the car
fashion line
and knocks it out. Yeah,
she has a whole fashion line because of that really stupid Yankees hat. I mean, I guess that's being a little redundant. They're all stupid Yankees hats. Go Red Sox.
Anyway, so what we've got is a unconscious werewolf, a beautiful Lorraine, and of course RL just looks into Lorraine's big just doe eyes, and he's smitten. They're both smitten for each other, and I go, okay, I got to let Lorraine go. I understand. Well, they decide to flee to try to get to the high school. Lorraine is going to go to the police station to warn the police. Well, the four, RL and the kids, are running through a cemetery. There's a little bit of romance that's happening again between Hannah and Zach, but some moonlight hits her, and boom, that's when we find out that she is in fact a ghost, not real. She's a character created by RL Stine.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
I wish
we did.
Yeah,
I think
we all
saw
it.
Question. I have a question for both of you. It seems like there's only one source of supernaturalness in this entire world. Because ghosts don't seem to be real. Giant mantises, like everything supernatural is the result of R.L. Stine in this typewriter. Or at least that's what's assumed. Like, Zach doesn't even stop to think, like, maybe she really is the dead daughter of R.L. Stine. He immediately jumps to, like, you're one of R.L. Stine's creations. And he's right. But that means this whole world is just under the insane... What if the whole world is in R.L. Stine's imagination? Like, this isn't the death dreams of Zach. This is actually R.L. Stine still creating friends for himself. Like, he's still trying to create a world where he fits in.
And that's why. Well, we'll get to what happens at the end of the film. But that actually, you know what? That actually holds a little water. I kind of like that interpretation, although it is really dark.
I'm haunted. This is really depressing. Yeah, that's what I do for Goosebumps books too.
Like, so. I'm kind of bummed out now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, come on over, check that out. It's even darker over there. I let him cuss some.
Oh, right on. The four are fleeing across the cemetery. So, of course, they're not zombies. They call them ghouls in this, but they're basically zombies. They got to come out of the ground and chase them, and they, of course, rightly run away. Well, we get a glimpse of Lorraine at the police station in the next scene. Guess what? Slappy and them aliens are still there, so boom, she gets freeze raid. Now, that's just to give us a little time so that canonically we can justify how the kids get to the high school. And when they do, RL finds his typewriter. He's got it on display at the high school. Again, weird, but cool. And he takes it and he goes into the auditorium to begin writing this book idea that they've come up with.
Yeah.
Now, my question is this. Why did he have it on display? I took a long pause there for a reason, and I wanted you to really savor that moment. But why did he have his typewriter on display at the high school?
No. Both of you, come on now. You've never gone to a high school clearly that's had like a famous person graduate from that high school, and so they've made a little like thing being like, hey, not everyone ended up working at the 7-Eleven till the day they died. this guy graduated and became a famous writer, and asked him for like some shit to donate. And maybe he's like, maybe I should stop writing monster books on this typewriter that makes monsters come alive. And so he donates the typewriter, and he thinks it's going to be behind glass forever. And once again, R.L. Stine believes that cursed objects should be left lying around as if they're trinkets. So that's poor thinking on his part. But maybe he thinks it has to be him and the typewriter, although we find out that's not true, which is terrifying.
Although he is in the proximity of the typewriter.
That's true. It's still his story, maybe. So
I don't know how R.L. Stine magic works. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm trying to piece it together in my mind right now. But what I do know is that when he goes, he's trying to find a quiet place where he can write this book. He goes into the auditorium. I love this gag. The play that the high school is producing is The Shining, the play, which I think is fantastic. Another Stephen King reference. Now, the fellas head over to the dance to try to warn everybody what's going on. Remember, the big dance is going on to the night. Now, this is no enchantment under the sea dance. This is more like the rave and the Matrix 2. Like, it's just like hot, steamy, like crazy lights and techno music going on. Not like any high school dance I've ever been to.
I think that's to cover the fact that everyone is actually 30. Like, because every time I caught a glimpse of someone's face, is like, that's a lot of bags under those eyes, or that dude's got some stubble. Like, but for the most part, it's all just flashing lights and moving bodies. And so I was like, they could theoretically be like thick-set teenagers who are fully grown and developed.
Well, this actually has one of my favorite gags. They're trying to warn everybody that these monsters are coming. They get on the stage. They've got the microphone. They're trying to do their spiel. And this one class clown, this real yuck 'em up, he says, "Oh, yeah, I see the boogeyman outside. He's picking his nose." And all the kids laugh, and they're laughing at the stupid kids on stage that think monsters are real. And then the kid who had his little yuck 'em up, he's like standing next to the windows on the bleachers. And he's like, "Oh wait, there's a mantis outside eating the cars." And one of the other kids is like, "All right, buddy, you had your time. Like, settle down." And then a giant mantis rips the roof off the place and snatches the kid up in his mouth. His mandibles. He has mandibles with which he can spit out webbing.
It was a fun scene. I love a good comeuppance, and that's in the Goosebumps book. It always feels good when one of the bullies gets a comeuppance. It always feels good.
And usually they do get their comeuppance too. That is the nice thing, is like they usually do end up broken and bleeding at the bottom of a ravine somewhere, or covered in bee stings and dying from anaphylactic shock. It's great.
Well, guys, Slappy figures out where they're at. He shows up at, again, he kind of knows he knows his papa. He knows, he's got the psychology of RL down because he is a piece of RL. And so he shows up and he basically brings all of the monsters with him. He sets up this sort of book burning outside where he just releases all of the monsters, and they are trying to get into the school. And now this is one of my favorite scenes. They're like, "We got to barricade the doors," and then they just put like a chair in front of the doors, and of course the monsters just immediately get in. Well, now you remember we talked about it way back. There was a pretty blonde girl that called Champ Chump in an early scene in the movie. Well, she's trying to flee out of there with her boyfriend, who's I'm not gonna mince any words here. He's a real jerk. He's just a real jerk of a guy. And he leaves her right as the werewolf comes out. And the werewolf is getting ready to kill this poor girl. And, man, I got to say, our boy Champ comes through in the clinch right here. He leaps on the monster's back, and he bites it. All right, and the monster flees. Now, guys, can you tell me why that werewolf, ran away when it was bitten? Well, guys, I know that you're stumped by that question because I took down notes and you didn't. And the reason is...
Dentistry. Don't make me feel stupid. It was because he's got silver bullets in his brain.
Yeah, he's got silver fillings because he didn't brush his teeth for a year. Don't make us be the dumb ones, all right? We're not your straight men.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
You're our straight man.
I would never accuse you.
You're our straight man.
Okay. All right. I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you guys in that regard. Now, he does, in fact, yes, he has silver fillings, so it sizzles that werewolf skin and it runs off. And guys, he gets a smoocher-do. He gets him a little smoocher-do from his pretty crush. I want to say, and that's awesome.
Yeah, after he says that he had after he had hair in his mouth she picked out, and after he said he spent a whole year of his life not brushing his teeth, which is why he had to have those fillings. She didn't even flinch, dude. She was trying to taste the back of his neck.
I will say, too.
He looked alarmed. He was like scrunched against the lockers, like just, a little shocked, maybe, surprised.
At the beginning of the movie, and she calls him Chump, he's like, oh, she probably just thinks that's my name. We don't really talk a lot. And you think like, yeah, okay, buddy, we understand. But she calls him Chump again at the end of the movie after he saved her life. So it wasn't malicious. He was right. She really thought that's what he went by was Chump. And he's like, actually, my name's Champ. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, she thought that was his name. He was right the whole time.
That's kind of sweet. I like that little, I like that romance right there. Well,
she's pregnant and running a 7-Eleven now. She's not going to have anything in the trophy case.
It's like a Tracy Chapman song over there, man. She's never going to drive away in that fast car. Well, anyway, Slappy shows up in the auditorium. Of course, he's gotten in. All the monsters got in, and he breaks RL Stine's fingers in his own typewriter. That's a slap to the face.
Travis, it was like, that dummy broke my thumbs or something. That dumb dummy broke my thumbs.
Yeah, he's like, my dumb dummy broke my thumbs.
So he can no longer write the book that is supposedly going to put these monsters away. So
and then it just has like a tie wrapped around each hand for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he does. And his fingers do not look broken
no, they don't even
at
bother.
all. But that's fine. I don't know what. Yeah. So anyway, they decide, okay, well, Slappy's broken your fingers. These monsters are all over the high school. We got to get out of here. So they run across the gym. Now, this is like where you get a glimpse at a lot of the monsters that don't have necessarily a featured appearance in the movie, like a Slappy or a Abominable Snowman, the Yeti. You've got the giant
White Bigfoot.
The White Bigfoot. But the pumpkin-headed scarecrow thing, and all kinds of fun monsters you guys probably instantly recognize. And I was like, man, that wasn't in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And so they end up secluding themselves on the far side of the gym. They barricade the doors. For some reason, the 2 chairs that they put on the doors this time managed to keep the monsters out. I'm not sure how, but they do. And RL comes up with the idea of, I will lead the monsters away by getting in this school bus and sacrifice myself. I'll get them to chase me. And you see Zach. He's got his wheels a-turning. He looks at a cabinet that has an explosive logo, a danger symbol on it. And next scene, it cuts really quick. We see RL driving away in this bus, right? And then we see the mantis fly out of the darkness, grab the bus, and flip it over, which was actually pretty cool. As all of the other monsters arrive, they look inside the bus. They see clearly an improvised explosive device, all right, inside the bus. Somehow these kids knew how to build an IED and rig this bus to drive off on its own autonomously. Wait, hold on. I think I'm about to get some Dylan Spackle. Hold on. It's coming in. And 3, 2, 1.
So it's not just those kids, though. When the plan succeeds, you see the whole high school being like, yeah, like the vice principal mom, like, yeah. I think the whole school came together on this project and put together one bus while RL Stine's driving off in the other one. Like, there's a huge group of untapped resources here that I think got plenty tapped. All right.
Okay.
I will also say
there was tapping that occurred.
This is the second time in the movie that this kind of thing has happened. Earlier on, when the Wagoneer's destroyed, you think they're still in the Wagoneer, and so does the Mantis. And the Mantis opens up the Wagoneer, and it's just like, ugh! And then you hear RL Stine be like, my station wagon! And he's very sad. Because that is like, every car that's described in all of the books is like the ultimate dad family car. Like, it's always like, oh, my Honda! My Super! Like, it's never like a fancy, cool car. It's always just like, Dad got a new station wagon, and he's real excited about. Like, R.L. Stine loves dad cars, and he proves it in every book. But so I think it's interesting that they actually like keep referencing things, like referencing back to things that they planted earlier in the movie. You don't need to. People are aware that you can sneak out of a bus or drive in a different bus. We didn't need to set up a false thing earlier, but they did that for the kids. The children were stupid.
The children needed it.
I felt like I needed it, honestly, at this point. But it was, in fact, a decoy bus. The bomb goes off and explodes all of the monsters. Now, this is just a setback if you're in Monster Town, right? You're going to go T2 and turn into liquid metal and reform yourself in a little bit. But
it is a cool scene. You just see them get vaporized in the fireball. And it's just it's totally
they turn into
T2 Linda Hamilton
liquid
Apocalypse Dream, where they're just like, you're just watching these monsters get blown apart on a subatomic level. And it's cathartic.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Also, why are you keeping that kind of explosive in a school? There's children there. That's dangerous. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It was. I mean, it was like the bombing of Dresden. It was wild. But the point I'm making here is it gives them just enough time to flee to the safest location they can think of: a murder carnival, a dilapidated, abandoned murder carnival. Which nobody's
best place to go.
Yeah, terrific idea, right? So they first decide to go into the fun house because nothing bad ever happens in there. And now, as I mentioned, Stine's fingers are broken, so he's dictating the story to Zach, and Zach is actually typing it out. Well, guys, this doesn't last long. You ain't fooling Slappy with your explosives and hiding in fun houses. He starts popping up in the mirrors, doing all kinds of scary stuff. But you know what is even worse? As they're running out of the funhouse to try to escape Slappy and the other monsters, guys, the Blob shows up. And not the one from the Steve McQueen movie, the one from the R.L. Stine book specifically.
Oh, which was also referenced in the movie. Yeah.
Police Station. Yeah. They referenced the Steve McQueen Blob movie.
This is a question for Travis, because I know you didn't read any of the books, Kevin, and you're a monster. Travis, were you just disappointed that it wasn't a monster blood?
Yeah, actually. I didn't see a reference to...
why not go for the monster blood? Like, why not go for a giant green blob instead of... Like, it seems to be references from some of the later Goosers for the most part. Like, it's not...
There are a lot of those. Yeah, this one references, the blob from The Blob That Ate Everyone, which is in our line of books, but also very reminiscent of UK covers, so it could have been a callback to that. You pointed that out there.
True.
I got to give you credit for that.
Yeah, if you have not Googled, you know what? You GBers know your stuff. I got to tell you turned me on to some UK covers of Goosebumps. If you guys haven't, if you want to see the worst art that you could quite possibly see on the covers of some books, just Google UK Goosebumps covers. They are absolutely horrific. But you know what's also horrific?
I'm in actual therapy because of those covers, because I've realized I get so mad about them and I need to dial it back, but I can't. Like, every time I see them, I lose my temper now. It's really bad. It's caused stress, fractures in my relationships with my closest family. It's bad.
I mean, they're not quite that bad for me, but they are bad. They're offensively bad. They're aggressively bad. They're like a push your shopping cart over kind of bad for me. But that's not the thing that's worse here. It is that blob creature, and they're trying to escape it. All right. RL Stine reads the writing on the wall because he's probably written the writing on the wall, and he says, "I'll stop this blob. It's after me anyway. You go, Zach, and you finish the story." Zach's like, "I don't know how." He's like, "You know how. You've had the power in you all along, Scarecrow." And so Zach climbs the Ferris wheel, because of course he does, because that's where the story really started to kick off between him and Hannah. And of course, Champ's with him this time. He finishes the story. He takes the last page out and he puts it in the book right as the monster. Now, of course, the blob creature is swallowed up R.L. Stine, though he somehow has his head out so he can breathe, because we don't want him to die because it's R.L. Stine.
We got to talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, we got to, and of course Slappy's taking the moment to gloat until he realizes that R.L. does not have the book, that Zach actually has it. Well, all of these monsters are climbing up the Ferris wheel. Of course, the mantis shows up just in time to smash the Ferris wheel off of its stand, and it starts rolling end over end down the hill. Somehow, the kids don't die in this crazy Ferris wheel related accident. The Ferris wheel comes to a stop, standing up with their pod on the bottom. They hop out, and Hannah says to him, okay, you got to open the book and suck up all the monsters. And that's when Zach puts it together and goes, oh, Poop Street. Hannah is one of RL Stine's creations, and she's going to be sucked up in the book too. And he has, is that like a Sophie's Choice situation going on there? If it's not, it's a Zacky's Choice.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you meant to say Fear Street. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, instead of Poop Street, it's Fear Street. Well, ultimately, Hannah saves him the pain decision and opens the book herself. And all of the monsters are getting sucked back in. She's holding on to Zach. Like, actually, her arm posture and stuff does not look like she's actually holding on all that tight, but we're meant to believe that she is. All the monsters are getting sucked in the book. Slappy goes in. He has one last quip. He says, I'll see you in your dreams. Ooh, it's kind of scary, right?
Yeah, what are you, Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, well, I think it's a reference to earlier in the film when Champ says that these are the kind of books that keep you up at night, maybe.
I think it's more that he's saying that he caused a great deal of, psychological trauma to all these people, and they're probably going to be dealing with the issues for years to come. Can you imagine the PTSD throughout this whole town?
That is true. That is you would not sleep easy after your whole town was overrun with monsters. Man,
even though no one seemed to die either. Like that,
But is it better to die or be left with a life of trauma? Which is worse?
I think it's better to be left with a life of... What are you talking about? Oh my God, that sounds like a cry for help. Let's talk, buddy.
Are you okay? We'll talk offline, Trav. We're gonna fix you, buddy.
We're gonna
fix you. I'm
you.
coming.
Oh, okay. Did I say something weird? Was what I said bad?
Trav, we're going to hang out and play Super Nintendo and listen to Limp Bizkit tomorrow. We're going to fix this.
Oh, okay.
So,
my bad.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, of course, Hannah's going to be the last one sucked into the book, but ultimately she does, and we're just left with the three fellas standing there.
Total sausage
over
party.
the book, and they sort of pick it up. Yeah, total sausage party. Well, the next day... I don't know that it's the next day. It's the next scene. So let's say...
No, this all happened over 3 days. I 100% believe this was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week.
God, dude, you I hope not, because I think they ought to have at least given those kids one day off of school, because they were all back at school the next day. So
that's true. Maybe it's the weekend, and the kid who got pulled through the window by the praying mantis was back. I feel that was maybe a weekend stay in the hospital at least to get all those pins.
Yeah,
in his
you're
neck,
right. Yeah. Kids heal so quick. He's fine.
They bounce back.
Literally, in his case.
Well,
he
Zach and his mom show up at the school. They do the same son mom banter, joking. She locks the door. He's like, Mom, you're so immature. And anyway, turns out RL Stine has taken on the job of being the English teacher for the school. And of course, there's a great line in there. He's like, the most important part of any book is the twist. And you're like, okay, is it though, RL? And anyway, here's the twist of the film. There's two that happen in rapid succession right here at the end. Number one, we get a real life RL Stine cameo. That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
I missed that.
He just moseys across the hall.
Yeah, he just literally walks through. Yeah. It's a quick cameo. Next thing that happens is RL says, "Hey, guess what, buddy? I just wrote another book, and Hannah's real again." And Zach's like, "Sweet." And they go off together into the sunshine.
Oh, and he burns the book.
That's
RL
we
Stine
think
burns
that's
the book too.
Then he burns the book, right?
So that she can never be put back.
So that Hannah,
unless he writes another book,
can never be put back. And then we think, gosh. It seems like he could just write another book and put her back in it if he really wanted to.
Oh, Zach, do you not like Hannah anymore? Now she's gone.
Yeah, and also it just seems like entirely too much power for one man to have. I don't know if anyone said that. For him to be able to just create life willy-nilly, that's a problem. But
destroy.
Yeah,
create
or destroy. I know, right?
He is God.
That's too much power.
That's why I'm saying this whole town of Madison is R.L. Stine's creation. Like, there is nothing beyond Madison. It's just all R.L. Stine. He's put himself and
Well, you know what?
Place, this pocket universe by himself, and he just creates this whole town to keep himself sane-ish, like, and have friends and all these people and all under his control. No one ever makes fun of him, except even he realizes that's fake, and that's when he starts receding into his little house. And it's only through the actions of some of the creatures that he's created that he's able to live in this made-up fantasy world that he's made for himself.
No, I just think he lives in the real world and is magic. That's a happier solution to this equation.
Happy,
but anyway,
I never look for the happy.
But you want to play some Super Nintendo and listen to Limp Bizkit with us? It'll be great. You'll have a good time, man. Well, you know what? There's one last. Get ready to make your noise because this is when it's going to happen. Turns out, as RL walks by his famous magical typewriter in the glass case, the keys start clicking, and on the paper. Right, because they had to put paper in it. You can't have a typewriter without paper in it. It says, "The Invisible Boy's Revenge." There it is, and that's the end of it, guys. That brought it home for us.
So was his book invisible? Why didn't that one get burned? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Did R.L. Stine have to list all of the monsters that he was sucking back in the book, and he just forgot the Invisible Boy?
I think so. Yeah. Even though at one point he was just like, oh, God, he's the worst. Like, he definitely does. Like, when the little invisible boy is on the car, he's just like, oh, God, I hate him so much. Like, why did you make him then? Like, the fact that he hates any of the monsters.
Well, maybe being invisible, he was able to, like, sneak in and take his own book and hide it or something without anybody knowing.
Or maybe Slappy even helped him out. Like, he managed to hide one book just to really wreck with his day, and he picked the Invisible Boy.
Oh, no,
dude, there is a sequel to this film, so maybe it's explained.
Wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a minute. I think that the Invisible Boy was Slappy's contingency plan. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's sitting heavy with you, isn't it?
Or R.L. Stine didn't want it to stop. He deliberately let one monster out. Because that's what made him important in this town again, was his monsters. He'd been forgotten, alone in that house.
Yeah, maybe he adopted him as a boy since he kind of loses Hannah.
I don't think Hannah now belongs to Zach. I don't think it's that situation. I give you a gift of a 16-year-old girl.
I just was thinking about that, yeah. But he wrote her weird, like she's back, but like, is she going to age with him? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of dark. You know, Dylan, you could run wild with this because there are a lot of dark implications for her being written back into reality. And like, what is reality of someone? And what is a person? What is agency? Like, how is Hannah different than just sophisticated AI? Like, it goes down a rabbit hole quick, and we're not going to go there. But you know where we are going to go? We're going to go to those post-credit reviews, Travie Poo.
Did you say Prost? Either way, I'm here for it. We got post-credit reviews. These are reviews that maybe unveil a little bit of the plot or give away our vibes too soon if we read them early, right?
That's real clever, you guys. I like this formatting for this little show you guys have going here.
Yeah, we have an audio form you can listen to as well.
Really? Oh, cool. So you don't have to attend them all in person like this. Where can I find episodes of this show for the people at home?
This isn't the first one. You keep thinking it is. It's not. PolyMediaNetwork.com. We got a 5-star review from Robin with a Y. This is back in February of 2016. February 15th, actually, night after... actually, you know what? I bet this was a Valentine's night watch. It carried over past midnight. She says... This is so good. Not as scary as Dante's The Hole, but along the same lines, not really sure why this had a lukewarm reception on here. Y'all think you weren't going into a kid's film or what? What? W-O-T, what?
Yeah, she went from being like real Southern to real British at the very end there. Like, what?
I didn't have a good read on it. And I didn't read it well.
I'm glad Kevin's looking up Dante's The Hole because I'm...
Yeah, I was. It is. It's a 2009 American 3D dark fantasy horror film directed by Joe Dante.
So that's not Holes, though. That's not the Louis Sachar. Okay.
It's not. Okay. No, it's not Holes.
Yeah, we got one from Lego Ben 101. He's a little meh. He was 3.5. He says... Why didn't add in other monsters like Jared from Subway or Kathleen Kennedy? Those are the real monsters. Also, good movie. So, what do you think about that?
He really doesn't like Kathleen Kennedy. That he puts her in the same light as Jared.
Right? That was an indictment. Also, that review was from today. That was from today.
Was
that
it?
happened today.
As of
Who
recording.
is still mad at Kathleen
Yeah, as of
Kennedy at
recording.
this point? Does she even still work at Disney?
I don't know, but we got another 3 stars from Gab, somebody who used a dinosaur emoji in their name. This is from the thick of COVID. They say, "Can someone kill Slappy already? That bitch is so annoying. It's been like 20 years."
Wow. Not a Slappy fan.
It's like, did Slappy bother you those 20 years? Because he was in a book, and then he was in a movie. If you've been thinking about Slappy the whole time, he's
Wow.
pretty evil.
He is evil.
Yeah, I like Slappy.
Well, no, the thing for me with Slappy in this film specifically, I wasn't overly impressed with his quips. Like, he had like maybe one good one, but I felt like his quips were kind of poorly written. Like, they weren't as strong as they could be. So I'm just, hey,
Especially
look.
with Jack Black, right?
Yeah.
Like, they had a couple lines, but yeah. I kind of agree, because in the book, Slappy's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He, like, I don't know, maybe it was Mr. Wood, or was it Slappy, where he takes over and he does like the vicious
It
jokes.
was Mr. Wood who was hilarious, and he was hilarious in the way that we both find vaudeville hilarious. So I don't think that's necessarily maybe a big read for other people. But he was telling jokes like, did a beaver die, or did you just forget to close your mouth? Like, stuff like that would be his kind of humor, where he would just be insult comedy that had, maybe Rodney Dangerfield would have been like, that seems a little dated. If Rodney Dangerfield was not in the grave, because he's dead.
Cool.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we got a 0.5 star from Jerry. Jerry says, the giant mantises were supposed to be robotic per the twist in that
spoilers.
specific book, but were real in the movie. Leading me to believe whoever came up with this shit took the characters straight off the covers of the books and wrote them into an old Are You Afraid of the Dark script.
Ooh,
But as we established, movie version in his head, who's to judge what's inside of a praying mantis in the fiction? I say, screw you, Jerry. Relax.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got a 0.5 star from Deirdre, and she says, this movie plays like it was written specifically so they could create a PlayStation 2 game for it back in 2001. Accurate.
That.
Would you buy
Deirdre,
this PlayStation
no.
2 game?
Oh, I have it.
Do you? Okay, all right. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I have the Goosebumps games. I've not played them, but they're more modern.
Oh,
but
are
I
they?
would have. Yeah. There's a few recent ones. But I would have definitely played PS2 version.
All right, so if my show notes are correct, that wraps up our postscript. I do have a quick one for you guys. If you could take any of the Goosebumps books and turn them into a RPG that you would then play through on console or computer of your choice, whatever you want, which book would you guys pick?
An
I would
RPG. Well, I got to think. I like the party aspect of Let's Get Invisible. So you'd have a bunch of kids that you could take into the other side and try to take on the cold versions of all these kids, what they called them when they were on the evil side of the mirror. I think that'd be kind of fun. Be kind of a horror RPG.
So Travis knows I don't know the titles of any of the books. What's the one where they go to camp?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
So you imagine you start off the game, you get to camp, but then you have to figure out what's going on. You fight those weird alien cat dogs that show up. That's like, and you have to investigate what's going on. And because the whole purpose of the camp was to train those kids to be astronauts, spoilers, you could change up the style of whatever these kids are being trialed to do. Like, you don't always have to have Mike get bit by a snake and puff up and die. So like, I feel like that would be a good. Also,
Right,
One Day at
yeah.
Horrorland. Each ride is a different level. Like, that would be that would be almost a
fantastic,
quintessential
yeah.
like SNES or NES game where they just turn every theme park ride into just a really obnoxious platform.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, when they get that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark RPG ready, that's the one I'll be picking up. Now,
See, that would be a PC adventure game with all the really gloomy, almost limbo-esque art, like that ink drawing stuff. Like that would definitely be a PC adventure game. Point and click.
Gentlemen, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Dylan, thank you for being here, man. You were hilarious. Now, you've got some stuff going on. You've got a couple of podcasts. Why don't you shout those bad boys out?
Because I don't know their names.
Oh, okay. Well, just people can find them on the Polymedia, right? That's the place they can find them?
Yeah, one of them is called Split Up. That's me and Mook, or Mook and I, if we want to be correct. Talk about horror movies. We each pick a horror movie each week, and we talk about it. It's kind of like the same kind of discussions we would have all the time when we're watching movies super late at night. And so we also occasionally invite friends over to talk about those same horror movies, because that's how we relate to all of our friends, is through vicious sociopathic movies. And then I'm also on We Got Goosebumps. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the name. Travis, I was looking for confirmation there. Yeah.
Yep, you got it, bud.
Twice in one podcast. With Travis. As we go through each and every Goosebump, similarly to how they go over movies here. So if you wanted to hear us go line by line through each movie, book in the series, we do that. I feel like very well, personally. I know there's some fans of that.
Yeah, I think we're no RL Stine, but we're pretty good.
I guess this is the point where I tell you guys I've actually listened to your podcast, and I agree with you. I think you guys are pretty good.
Thanks.
So.
I've never listened to any of your podcasts.
Well, guys,
that makes me feel super awkward, so I'm just going to disappear now.
Well, you didn't have to say it.
Yeah, you could have just kept that one to yourself, but that's okay.
Well, I'm honest. I'm an honest to a fault, to an actual fault.
You know what? No, hold on a minute, Dylan. You just listened to this one that you were on, so bud, you can't even say that anymore.
I did also listen to your episode about Roadhouse, which I greatly enjoyed, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which you guys did not say enough nice things about one of my favorite horror movies of all time, so that was the last one I ever listened to.
Okay, there's the rub.
That makes sense.
Well, at least we know where the rub is. Yeah.
Well, guys, look, if you like what just happened, you might like our other shows. Now, we talked about some of them, but for more of Trav, head over to the polymedianetwork.com and check out his other podcasts. And if you like him and Dylan, man, you can head on over and check out We Got Goosebumps, or the network's scary movie podcast, Split Up. And if you like me, hey, seek me out on the podcast Blue Peg, Pink Peg for all your board gaming shenanigans. Now, if you think, gee, I hope these guys keep on making a podcast, well, hop on our Patreon and toss us a few bucks to keep Slappy locked up. And we definitely want to thank our pal Harvest Black for our Stine tingling theme song. Yep. And just like our Uncle Doug always says,
you know how they say teenagers have no fear of death? That they're never going to get hurt? Well, not me, okay? I was born with the gift of fear.